Welcome to the 518 Show, coming to you from Open Signal PDX, a new variety arts magazine and performance program. I'm Beverly Frentress, and I will be your host tonight. Our guest tonight will be Holly Johnson, critic-turned-playwright, presenting the upcoming short Volare, premiering here tonight on the 518 Show. I'm extremely excited. I'd also like to welcome Joan Glassell, singing in Italian her rendition of the ever-recognized hit Volare, also heard in our featured short play, Volare. On our travel section, we'll take a stop over to Venice Beach, where we'll run into a street performer named Starla. I loved her performance. I hope you'll enjoy our segment, Things of Interest. These are things that piqued my interest from the internet, and I thought you would be interested in also. I'll pick a song tonight from the Dust on My Shoes CD and perform that for you tonight. Beverly Frentress and the Stone Soup Blues is the name of the group. Go ahead and check that out. It'll be original songs. We hope that you'll enjoy. Well, let's get started, shall we? The 518. Welcome to the 518. Thank you so much for tuning into our show. We're really glad that you're able to check us out again. I'd like to introduce you to my guest today. This is Holly Johnson. She's a playwright as well as a critic, and we will be featuring her 10-minute play called Volare a little later on in the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Holly, it's such a pleasure to have you here at the 518. You're a playwright, and you've been working on Volare for how long?
Probably a year.
Probably about a year?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the inspiration behind Volare?
You know, I'm not sure. It just popped out of me one day. But it's about birds, and I do see a lot of geese in Portland. And I used to live in Tigard near a wetlands, and I saw a lot of birds there, which fascinated me. And I just put that into my unconscious mind, and all of a sudden one day, this conversation began in my head. I don't know where it came from. And the play unfolded.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's weird.
I think those are like gifts from God
It
that says,
I
got something for you.
I did not use my conscious mind very much. It was on another level.
And it just came and
Yeah.
pen to paper, and here we go.
And I wanted to entertain myself. I wanted to write something funny with a punch at the end. And so I did.
Excellent. So you've also written another play that you did in Fertile Ground this year, 2017, Fertile Ground, Sisters in the Snow.
Right.
Where did that come from?
Well, I worked on that for quite a while. I wanted to do something. I wanted to set a play in a painting, because I studied art history in England about 20 years ago, and I thought, wow, I've got so much information and so much inspiration from the artwork of Europe. And I had this one painting in mind, which is Bruegel's Hunters in the Snow. And I thought, well, I'm going to play with this. And I wanted two sisters, which is something I relate to, having a sister, who aren't getting along particularly, but they're traveling together, and they're in Vienna, where this painting hangs, and they suddenly slip into the painting one after the other, not at the same time, and life takes on a new perspective in another time zone, in a cold climate. So I thought, this will be fun. I just wanted to have fun with it. And at first I thought, oh, I don't know what to do. And then I got my friends involved, and people helped me. They said, why don't you try this? Took a class. The teacher said, why don't you try that? And
collaboration is wonderful. We can't get things done without our friends and teachers.
Absolutely. And I thought, oh, they're going to hate it. They did not hate it. They really liked it. Let me tell you something, though, about me with playwriting. I thought, I can't do this, it's too hard. I thought, no, I'm going to sit down and write a really bad play. I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to write a bad play, because I had these critics in my head. And that's where Sisters in the Snow came out. And
because you went to do a bad play, and then you got a great play? I love it.
I said, I'm just going to be sloppy. I'm going to just slop all over and write what I feel like writing. And I just cut loose. Something happened. And that's my secret to this day. And Hester said, I like this. I'm going to direct it. She got me involved. Mm-hmm. I never would have done it without her. It was a lot of work. We kept losing actors because of the snowstorm that we had last year. Mm-hmm. But we had a wonderful cast. and only performed it twice.
Well, I'm
So-
sure there'll be another opportunity.
Now I have a third play I have to tell you about,
Okay.
which is not quite finished, but it's a comedy about Alzheimer's. It's about a woman who gets her words mixed up, and I'm really having fun with this too.
And have you named that?
It's called Mrs. Lakewater's Night Out.
Mrs. Lakewater's Night Out?
Yep.
Okay. When do you think that you'll be ready to
I'm just about ready.
shop that? Or
I'll have to be done writing it in a couple of months, I think.
Okay.
And I'm just about ready. And I thought, this makes me laugh. That's all I care about. And I did read it in a class I took last year. A group of us went down to Dunsmuir, California, and had a little class in that little town. It was so much fun. And we one night we had a few drinks and we read it out loud, and they just loved it. So I thought, yes, I'm going in the right direction with this.
Now, how is it being a playwright as well as a critic in writing? I know you're critiquing your own plays as well as you professionally. You've been a critic in the market. How does that affect what you're writing?
Well, it's sort of different hats. You go in and you write in journalism style, and there's certain things you need to put in a review. I'm more of a reviewer than a super heavy critic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too as hard on actors. I love actors. I love what they do. I'm very supportive of them, but it's a different style of writing. But what I do gain from having been a critic, I'm sort of letting that go at the moment. But what I do gain is I get to see hundreds and hundreds of plays and see what they bring to my imagination and how I could play off on some of their ideas. So it's a different kind of writing. You have a formula where you mention the costumes and mention this and get it all in. But and writing a play is very different because you're bringing out dialogue from people that you may or may not have met.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different. It's like wearing two hats, two different things.
Okay. So now you're going a step further, and you are doing a 10-minute play for this show, and then you're having to become a filmmaker.
Oh, I'm so scared. Yes. I am really not prepared for this. But I will learn as I do it, as I bumble through it. I will learn something,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully.
Well,
And
because we're going to premiere it
yes,
on the show,
right.
on the same show, which is, I'm
Yep.
excited to let our audience see it and experience it. The formula of actually taking your play, making it into like a mini movie so that it's accessible to the masses.
Right.
You could turn on your TV and see something that makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you think.
Right.
I always love that.
Yeah.
To have something that makes me think when I'm long gone from the situation. It's like,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happened.
That's what you hope to do.
Yeah.
And that's the way it happens with good theater. You might go home at night and think, oh, wait a minute, that was interesting. It takes a while, and you get back at it. So I had so much fun writing this, and it just came out of me. I have really good actors. They've had film experience. They're really good. I hope they bear with me. This
Oh,
project.
we're going to see their work today.
Yeah.
Going forward, you have a new play in the works.
Mm-hmm.
You think that'll be done in a couple of months.
Yes, it will.
Are you going to, is that a 10-minute play, or is that a full length play? Or?
It's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay.
Well, I think I need to stretch it for purposes. They usually want an hour and a half. But maybe plays are getting shorter these days. It's probably Sisters in the Snow was an hour and 20 minutes without intermission. And that seemed to satisfy the audience that we had.
Okay.
So it may be like that. I don't want to extend it overly if it doesn't need to be overdone. If it's time to stop, I want to stop.
Right.
And
So how do you know when it's time, for you, when it's time to stop?
well, there's a certain rhythm, I think, to the action and a certain sense of resolution, and you want to resolve things, And so you feel, oh, I'm getting there. The hardest part is is 3/4 in, when you're just at the end, before the end. I've got an ending idea. I just have to fill it in. How do they get there? That's the hardest part for me. I've studied with a wonderful woman that was a screenwriter, Cynthia Whitcomb. She's a popular teacher in this area, and we have gone over that many times in her classes. You have to just keep building that bit, and then you sort of know when it's done. You feel, okay, I've had enough.
So do you workshop your plays, like, actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
With writers.
With
yeah,
writers.
With writer groups.
Okay.
I have done that. And they're wonderful, because other writers really understand what you're going through, what you're doing. A lot of people are not writing plays, however, that I've been in groups with. A lot of them are writing fiction, which kind of relates, actually. I love dialogue.
I love dialogue too. I love dialogue movies. I love the theater.
I love accents. I love dialogue. I love play on words. I'm interested in words, really. That's what my plays are about, to some extent. So, Sisters in the Snow was a caper. The hunters are these young guys. They're in the snow with this dead rabbit. They can't find any game, and this one guy falls in love with this woman from the 21st century. She pops into the painting, and he says, "Oh, I want to meet you. Who are you?" And he's younger than she is, which is another female fantasy. And so you've got this time travel thing going on to some extent. So fun ideas like that are exciting for a writer. You can carry it off, hopefully.
So we're premiering Volare.
Yes.
In a little bit.
Yes.
And I'm anxious to share with the audience what it is that you've been working on. And hopefully we'll get people writing in and get some feedback from that. Is there a website where people can find you?
No, I need to do that. I have not. I'm a techno idiot. I don't mess around with the internet too much, but I need to learn. Okay. I think it's a good idea.
Well, they'll get privy to Volare, and maybe you guys can write in and let us know what you think about it. So, Holly, I'd like to thank you for being on the 518. It is our pleasure to have you, and I really, really want you to come back and talk about your next project.
Beverly, you're very welcome. It's been a delight.
When the page turns before your eyes, when there are no warnings or goodbyes, life simply turns the page. When you get to the point where this you realize you have simply come of age. It won't stop the hurt, happiness or surprise, but to the occasion we must always rise. Live in the moment and you'll survive. When life simply turns the page, who's gonna turn the page? Gonna turn the page, you're gonna turn the page, you're gonna turn the page, you're gonna turn the page. When the page turns before your eyes, there's nothing you can do except be present. Another sun will set and a moon will rise. Whatever has occurred may not be pleasant. Live in the moment and you'll survive. Live in the moment and it won't be a surprise. Gonna turn the page, you're gonna turn the page, you're gonna turn the page, you're gonna turn the page. Change may hit you like a tidal wave, it'll catch you on the shore with a rising tide. When you get to the point where this you realize you have simply come of age. Live in the moment and you'll survive. Live in the moment and it won't be a surprise. Live in the moment when life simply turns the page. Who gon' turn the page? You gon' turn the page. You gon' turn the page. Oh, oh, oh. What can I tell you so that you'd believe? Well, if the rocks cried out and the winds blew down the trees, well, you always have me to come home to at the end of every day. Things may get harder and harder, yeah, but we'll keep the world at bay, because home is where you are. Everything else, que sera, sera. Your love is the thing that I live for. Your love is etched on my heart. Your love is a thing that I live for. Everything else, que sera, sera. I'm not saying that things will be easy. Sometimes we'll both wanna cry. Every day's got its own set of problems that may leave us lying awake tonight. Well, don't worry about tomorrow, it'll be here soon enough. Que sera, well, it rolls off the tongue. When push comes to shove, I said it's easier said than done. Done. Because home is where you are. Everything else, que sera, sera. Your love is a thing that I live for. Your love is etched on my heart. Your love is a thing that I live for. Everything else, que sera, sera. We may see our share of bad days. I couldn't change a thing. Our life is better than I've ever imagined. Can't wait to see what tomorrow brings. 'Cause even if the rocks cried out and the wind blew down the trees, you gotta know no matter what, it will always be you and me. Because home is where you are. Everything else ain't surprise. Your love is a thing that I live for. Your love is etched on my heart. Your love is a thing that I live for. Everything else can't surprise. Everything else can't surprise. Everything else can't surprise.
Welcome to the Interesting Stories from the Internet section. We'll bring to you today radiation from the Fukishima power plant, which has been continually leaking into the meltdown at such a catastrophic level that scientists are claiming the days of eating fish from the Pacific Ocean are over. According to the founder of Nuclear Crimes, Andrew Kishner, the magnitude of the radiation being leaked into the ocean is being downplayed, and it is getting worse. Kishner has claimed that TEPCO, the company who is in charge of monitoring the plant, has admitted radiation has been leaking into the Pacific Ocean non-stop for the past 6 years. He also claimed that there are an estimated 300 to 450 tons of contaminated water being leaked from Fukushima plant every day. Last month, Neon Nettle reported that TEPCO confirmed its plans to release radioactive material from Fukushima plant into the ocean, stating that the decision has already been made. According to scientist Ken Buesler, who has examined the contaminated fish, the level of radiation may not be enough to poison humans. However, his claims were immediately contradicted by the scientists who said there was no such thing as safe levels of radiation in our food products. The tritium is building up in water that has been used to cool 3 reactors that suffered fuel meltdowns after cooling equipment was destroyed in the magnitude 9 earthquake and tsunami that struck northeast Japan in March 2011. Fast forward, around 770,000 tons of highly radioactive water is stored in 580 tanks at the site. Many of the contaminants can be filtered out, but the technology does not presently exist to remove tritium from the water. This accident occurred more than 6 years ago, and the authorities should have been able to devise a way to remove the tritium instead of simply announcing that they were going to dump it into the ocean, said Eileen Miyoko Smith, an anti-nuclear campaigner with the Kyoto-based Green Action. Takasaki Kamomuro, chairman of TEPCO, said that it will be safe to dump the water into the ocean because the ocean is so large, but this sets a precedent for it to be copied. The authorities have been working to decontaminate the area. A crucial step in the cleanup process is locating the nuclear fuel that melted during the disaster, a task easier said than done. Humans can't safely go near the site, and robots sent to probe the highly toxic reactors have sputtered and died. But as Kyle Swinson reports from the Washington Post, experts recently made a breakthrough. An underwater robot photographed what appears to be a solidified nuclear fuel at the site of the disaster. The robot, nicknamed Little Sunfish, documented icicles-like clusters, clumps, and layers of the suspected nuclear material in one of 3 reactors that was submerged in water. Some layers are more than 3 feet thick. According to the Associated Press, the formations were found inside a main structure called the pedestal that sits underneath the core inside the primary containment vessel of Fukushima's Unit 3 reactor. Takashiro Kimoto, a spokesman for TEPCO, tells Kawasaki Nagata of Japan Times that it is possible that the melted objects found are melted fuel debris. From the pictures taken today, it is obvious that the melted objects came out of the reactor, he explains. This means something of high temperature melted from the structural objects and came out. So it is natural to think that the melted fuel rods are mixed with them. The lava-like mixture of the nuclear fuel rods and other structural materials is known as corium, and finding its location is vital to decontamination efforts. As Lake Barrett, a former official at the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, tells Nagata, it is important to know the exact location and physical, chemical, and radiological forms of the corium to develop necessary engineering defueling plans for the safe removal of the radioactive materials. The possible identification of corium at Fukushima is a promising first step. But there's a long road ahead. Further analysis is needed to confirm the substance is indeed melted fuel. Then authorities will need to figure out a way to remove it from the area. The process of decommissioning the reactors is expected to take 40 years and at the cost of $72 billion, according to an estimate from the Japanese government. It's not all bad news, though. With little sunfish, scientists have finally developed a robot that could withstand the highly radioactive bowels of Fukushima's nuclear reactors, which will help them conduct further investigation of the site. Because, of course, as we know, humans, even suited up, cannot go into those reactors for any length of time. That's the most interesting thing from the internet at this time, and I want to thank you for joining us.
Joan Glassell, thank you so much for coming to the 518.
You're so welcome.
It's our pleasure to have you here today. You're going to do a song for us called Volare.
Volare, no, the Italian originally title was Nel blu dipinto di blu, into the blue, painted with blue.
All right, we're going to absolutely enjoy this music. So take it away.
Okay. Penso col sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo le mani, la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal vento rapito e cominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volavo felice, più in alto del sole, era ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano spariva lontano laggiù. E una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me. Surprise ending.
I loved it. All right. So we're going to have that song in the Volare 10-minute play that's going to be on this show. I'd like to thank you so much for coming.
You're so welcome. I enjoyed it.
Operators. Hey, go ahead, girl, go ahead. Every day I have a dream. Every day I have a dream. 'Cause when you see me worry, baby, it's you I hate to lose. Wow! Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. No, nobody loves me. Nobody nobody seems to care. I'm gonna pack up my suitcase, baby, and move on down the line. I'm gonna pack up my suitcase, move on down the line. You know why, Domingo? Because it ain't nobody worried, and it sure ain't nobody crying. Ow, 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 ow. Every day I have the blues. Every day, you know what? Every day I have the blues. Bye, nice meeting you. Because when you see me worry, baby, nice meeting y'all. You, I hate to lose. Wow! Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. No, 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 nobody loves me. Thank you. Nobody seems to care. I'll pack up my suitcase, baby, move on down the line. I'm gonna pack up my suitcase, move on down the line. Because it ain't nobody worried, and it sure ain't nobody crying out. Every day I have the blues. Every day I have the blues. Cause when you see me worry, baby, it's you I hate to lose. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, how Starla, can I tell him I love him? Yes, I will give my heart gladly. Every day when he walks to the sea, you know what he does? He looks straight at her, not at me. Tall and tan and young and handsome, the man from Ipanema does not.
know it was. I was just thinking how wonderful that would be on film.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Harry? Look at you.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay.
Well, you sound like you're not so good.
Well, you know, it's flap, 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 forage, forage, forage. You know, the usual.
Oh, see, well, you're usually in the water, not up here in the hill. You see, last time I met you was on those Oregon Redlands. Oh, everybody was there that day. Grand Central Station, huh?
Yeah, I remember. A profusion of feathers. Ugh.
Kind of fun, though. A party.
Tell me, Carl, do you ever get tired of flying?
No, I love it. Why?
I mean physically tired, just burned out after a while.
Oh, it's my life, man. Oh, when I'm up in the air fighting the wind current, I feel like a warrior, you know? And then when you land, you sleep so well, you feel like you accomplished something. I don't know. I can't explain it. Oh, and our radar. It's brilliant. Except for that time Gloria went on to Panama by mistake, and the boys and I stayed in Arizona. But it all worked out. You know, we found each other.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't mean to offend you, but you geese all look exactly alike. How the hell do you even know who you're flying next to anyway?
That's our secret. Secret of the flock.
Sorry.
No, I'm not offended. I could say the same thing about you. Well, how'd you know it was me you're standing next to right now, huh?
I don't know. I just did. Your smell, maybe. Can I confide in you?
Huh.
Ever since the Grebe mating dance, my life has been going slowly downhill. Oh, we were so graceful together, Bernice and I. We had all the ritual moves down, you know, the copycat head moves, the sinuous neck motions. Oh, it was like ballet. We were in utter harmony. And then it was over, just like that. Our big splash. I think the BBC might have filmed it.
Oh.
There was some rustling in the bushes and a blinking red light.
Oh.
But who cares, right? It all seems so long ago now.
Hey, relax, buddy. I get ya. Keep your beak on. I bet you still dance great.
You can only do it once, Carl. You know, mating for life and all that.
Gotcha. Bummer. Well, there must be other highlights you've had, huh?
What are some of your highlights?
Oh, the travel, dude. I've been to more amazing places. Oh, a stylish pond in London's Kensington Park with delicious grass and a mean-looking statue of Queen Victoria, huh? Iceland for a quick, chilly stopover. Spain, oh, beautiful Spain. Amsterdam's huge Lake Etched. Oh, and of course, Canada. I mean, we got the best pond slime around. I mean, I'm patriotic.
We only go to Mexico. Lake Chapala.
Oh.
Some of my relatives just stay down there, don't even come home. But I'm so sick of water. We don't do dry land very well. I mean, I know I couldn't live without water. At least I'm that smart.
Of course you're smart, Harry, huh? What's with the lack of confidence, huh? And you look amazing, huh? You got that long neck that goes on and on. You got that tiny patch of hair on your head sticks up like a brush. Now, of course, I wasn't sure at first about your red eyes and tiny pupils. Kind of gave me the creeps. Until I got used to them. Oh, now I find them stylish and attention-getting. And when I look right into them, I know you are being sincere. Huh?
Thanks. Thank you, Carl.
I have an admission of my own. Well, here's the deal. Flying is fun, but it's hard. It's exhausting. I can confess it to you. You know, you're sensitive. I mean, our lives are so precarious, cutting through the sky, honking the entire trip, taking deep breaths, then shallow ones. And I barely miss power lines. You know, I've seen colleagues and friends hit them and just go down, you know. And then there's the hunters. Oh, they are after us with a vengeance, usually drunk. But that doesn't mean they don't kill a lot of us, you know. Oh, once I was flying over a football game kind of low because I was fascinated by the formation below. And then a baton trail in there and it hit me in the chest with a baton, you know. A second earlier, ooh, that would have been Christmas dinner. Makes you think. Yeah, it freaks you out. That's what it does. When we flew into Russia once, it was so cold and wet, we shivered all night as we slept. Sometimes people, they laugh at us. They make these cracks. Oh, you're just a bird. You're stupid. There's too many of you. A population explosion. You know, that really hurts. We have to take it because, you know, they're bigger than us. We have to remain cheerful. We have to keep on flying.
We Grebes aren't as urban as you. You know, we don't just fly into a big city park. You see a lot more. We just stick to those damn wetlands, looking pretty with our long necks. Still, we're a novelty.
No.
Canada geese are everywhere. I mean, nobody would blink an eye if you walked down a sidewalk. With us, ooh, out come the cameras. All that clicking. I'm not saying we're better, just more obscure.
More exotic, maybe. Come on, Harry. Give me a Grebe smile, or at least a cheerful honk, huh? You call that a honk? Yes! That's better, huh? You are a gorgeous species, Harry. Never forget that.
I'll try not to. Those are powerful words, Carl. My family thanks you. We Grebes, thank you. Bernice is here somewhere.
Oh.
The children. Did Gloria come today?
Oh. I guess I didn't tell you.
Tell me what?
She expired. Died in an accident. Under a lorry in Russia. Face in a mud puddle. All that voluptuousness crushed. She was a big goose, a grand goose.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was a long time ago. Yeah, I mourned her. Don't think I didn't. I mean, we made for life too, but the instinct is to move on.
Carl, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thanks. I'm okay.
Why are we all here, I wonder sometimes.
We keep on moving. We don't stop.
It feels better, doesn't it?
And then something happened to me after she died. Unforgettable.
What do you mean?
Well, two buddies and I decided to go to a different watering hole. The sky was mysterious that day. The firmament was split. Half all gray cloud, the other half bright sun. We soared, my pals and me, up into an ever-changing sky, neither night nor day, gray, turquoise green, hazy gold, as if we were drawn by a great but gentle wind. The air grew thinner, the beauty more indescribable. And then, the face of God. A giant goose, golden eyes and purple feathers, backlit by waning light. It was beckoning us onward. I felt my wings fall away. I felt I was floating and soaring at the same time with no source of energy. I didn't know if I was descending or ascending. I couldn't hear myself breathing. And when I looked down, I saw the whole world I had known. Green, fertile farms.
Yes, green farms, fields of golden barley, dark emerald forests.
And reflective ponds in the waning light. Giant buildings, dust motes, large human tears, animal tears. Colors like a dark blue and a shimmering yellow. There was a prism up ahead, rainbows, several rainbows in the distance, like beautiful bridges to fly under.
Yes, rainbows and shimmering skies, clouds in hues of purple and pink and blue. I see it too. Oh, green plants, palms and banyan trees, the jungles of Mexico. I can see it, Paula.
Crows and sparrows flapping up alongside me, making an odd formation. There was a hummingbird in my peripheral vision. A bald eagle above. Everything was swirling, coming together, then separating, and then a luminous, violet-colored God grinned again and stretched his beak. And I saw a whole world I didn't know, but had glimpsed before. Spires curling into the heavens, gleaming buildings, giant trees twisting around pillars, the egg and dart pattern stretching against the sky. Shadows and light on architecture, classical and futuristic. Silvery gateways with waterfalls pouring through them. Impervious cliffs with sparkling stones. It was the only time I didn't make any noise as I flew. I was honkless. I couldn't get a honk out to save me. I was both soothed and propelled by the light behind and above. At one point, I was shapeless, with no bodily boundaries. Sheer, weightless flight, nothing more. For the first time ever, here was the face of a goose, bigger than man. And as I descended, I felt numb, as if I was riding along and someone else was flying.
Yeah. Who says we're just small creatures that all look alike?
Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo le mani, la faccia di blu.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sticking with us here at the 518 show. We hope you enjoyed our show tonight. I would like to thank our special guests, Holly Johnson, Joan Glassell, and Starla. I really hope you enjoyed Holly's original piece, Volare, as much as we did. We hope it made you think and made you feel. Make sure to go to our website, www.the518show.com. By all means, let us know that you enjoyed our show. We would love to partner with you in making this show happen for your enjoyment. See you next time.
Solletico dal vento rapito, incominciavo a volare nel cielo infinito. Volare, poi cantare, nel blu dipinto di blu. Felice di stare lassù, nel blu dipinto di blu. Felice di stare lassù.